And everyone needs to do those donuts.
We do.
It's funny.
And this, I know a little bit about this, but I don't know it all.
Yes, we'll go with it. Okay. Title.
Sip of my fake beer.
My 13-year-old daughter was sent an unsolicited nude photo, and her school is treating her as the offender.
We haven't dealt with anything like this before.
Never.
Never.
Foreign concept here.
Yep.
My daughter is 13, and she was called into the principal's office today over the fact that she told a friend that she was upset because someone sent her a nude photo unrequested, and that friend reported it, as she should. As far as I'm concerned, my daughter is the victim of a sex crime in this instance.
True.
The nude photo was apparently a young boy that's in her class. The principal asked about the photo. She showed him, and he took her phone, wrote down her password, and proceeded to look through all of her texts and photos, including those between family and friends. She never sent it to anyone else. She didn't ask for it to begin with. But they interrogated her like she did something wrong, and they ended up doing this to multiple other students who also received the photo. They did not contact any parents, and the only reason my wife found out was she was picking her up from school early because our daughter had emailed her that she was having a panic attack. When I met with my daughter, she's bawling and said she was scared to death that she was going to be arrested because of how strict they were acting. Principal yelled the entire time, blah, blah, blah. Do I get a lawyer for this situation is the wrap up of the question. So, Bobby, if someone sends someone an unsolicited naked picture, can the principal just take their phone?
If they let them.
If they let them.
If they let them. And this is my biggest pet peeve of all time as it relates to schools, parenting, children, social media, all wrapped into one ugly shit sandwich. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. It sucks. And I'll add, schools suck by and large, are terrible at investigating because they have that mindset of we control, you do what we tell you or else. And schools administration especially, puts themselves in such a terrible legal position by doing exactly what that principal did. Yep. Lawyer, that in that situation, gloves come off.
Yeah.
You're going to feel some defiance because we've been through this 100 times. Is your phone protected?
By passcode.
Okay. Do you have an expectation of privacy in that contents of your phone?
You do.
According to the United States Supreme Court even.
Yeah.
It's protected. You don't, and the important thing, especially what I really want people to understand, you're exactly right. This is the perfect segue into the next section, which is public schools, especially government-funded schools, are government actors.
Yep.
Okay. That is the state acting. They're the same as law enforcement to a certain extent, which means the Bill of Rights, as it's created, is created to protect citizens from unreasonable government intrusions into their constitutional protections.
Yep.
Private schools, completely different story.
Yep.
Completely different story. But public schools, they might want to have a special, civics lesson for administration on what the Bill of Rights are.
For real.
And what they cover.
Yeah.
What are your takeaways?
Okay, well, first of all, one of my first thoughts is, you freak.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you pulling a 13-year-old girl into your office to look at child porn? Freak.
Yeah.
You're a freak.
They didn't think
Red
that
flag
way.
right away.
But
I know.
True.
Yeah, they didn't. I'm sure they didn't think about it.
Now you're a government actor. You're a state actor, and you have actual knowledge of the existence, the creation.
Yep.
The production, the creation, the possession, and the distribution of child pornography.
Yep.
You're in a really shitty situation now, Mr. Principal.
Yes.
Or Miss Principal. Or Miss Principal.
Yeah. And second thing is, that doesn't lead to looking through someone's entire phone.
No.
Clearly, she told them the passcode. What 13-year-old's not going to?
Mine.
My future child.
They
probably.
get taught that the
Fair.
minute they can
Okay.
talk.
Most people aren't.
Some people read books to their children before they're born. I read the Constitution.
Get a warrant. Get a warrant. Get a warrant.
Fourth Amendment.
But I mean, it's like a traumatizing experience, and I think that the parents have every right to be mad about it. You should be upset when your young child is taken advantage of or unfairly treated. It doesn't seem like this girl did anything wrong, and she kind of got stuck in the fray.
The 13-year-old who took
Yes.
and sent the wiener picture, I'm assuming,
Problem.
commits if he's an adult, it's a felony.
So
it's a sex offense.
Do you want to know what you find out in the comments of this Reddit post?
Oh, yeah.
It's the son of the principal. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Call me. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's a good one. For your own personal benefit, too. You're not even just missing out on your civics lesson here.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
And then to pull the child out, the victim, out of class,
The victim of your son.
of your
Yeah.
son, into the principal's office, and then you victimize them further by searching the entirety of their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another big area where schools screw up all the time, not contacting parents at the
Yep.
first opportunity. Like, you can't, like, kids are kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're under 18, especially under 16. Parental notification is a prerequisite to
Yep.
doing anything substantive really with a child,
Yeah.
especially going through there. And so that brings us to, that's actually the perfect segue.
I know.
You killed it. Good job. Always.
Not always. Sometimes.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Expectations of privacy, and this is a different type of a constitutional interest is
Yep.
protected in schools, though.
Yeah.
So phones,
Phones, lockers,
desks,
backpacks,
backpacks,
cars.
This is a super interesting area because Iowa actually has a law that's created by the legislature.
Yep.
Now, we know what we think of necessarily all their legislation around here. Just because they make a law doesn't mean it's constitutionally correct.
Yep.
But Iowa has a specific law that is actually pretty good, that says that limits, that first of all breaks it out and says, listen, kids do have an expectation of privacy in their personal property while at school.
Yep.
And there are certain restrictions on the school and school administration on interfering with those privacy interests. And it really depends on the type of privacy interest that exists,
Mm-hmm.
and then what they're looking for and how they're looking for it. But what if you're looking at this and saying the school search issue? What are your big questions or concerns about school searches as it relates to students?
I would say, what are you searching for?
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like is the biggest line
Okay.
in my mind. Not like saying like legally, but
Right.
that would be my thing is what are you searching for? Does the potential risk outweigh the potential reward of what you're finding?
Mm-hmm.
Their children. Yeah.